Electronic from Denmark now presents its TC2290 dynamic digital delay and effects control processor and sampler. With sampling up to 32 seconds, editing, pitch shift, adjustable threshold, sound on sound, 100 presets and dual head DA converter. In this unit you have 100 presets for the built-in effects such as chorus, flanger, doubler, delay, phaser, compressor, expander, autopanner, gating, tremolo, vibrato and ducking. The TC2290 gives you the best sound quality you can imagine with a sampling rate of 1 MHz, a frequency range of 20 to 20,000 Hz, completely linear, and what's more, a soft roll-off from 20,000 to 33,000 Hz. With this type of data you have absolutely no noise because the unit has a dynamic range of 100 dB, which is more than suitable for most sound studios of today. With sampling up to 32 seconds, you can also program multi-effects with up to 4 different effects running at the same time. Life is made easy when working with the 2290. With 100 presets at your disposal, you can store all your favorite settings. Just listen to this chorus, which is made with a short delay and to which is added some modulation. With the 2290 you can add modulation to all the delay times. This function is unique to the TC2290. There is no other effect unit on the market that can do this. Here is a long delay with chorus added. Auto panning. Of course the TC2290 has auto panning. It also has 4 waveforms to create different types of auto panning. Now we have added auto panning to our long delay and chorus. Let's hear the same effect on the keyboard. I think we're all familiar with the situation where the delay time doesn't fit the rhythm. Therefore, we at TC have made a learn key, where all you have to do is to tap the key twice in rhythm, which automatically keys in the right delay time. In other situations, it can be difficult to control the degree of echo. The result sounds something like this. In the 2290 there is a built-in dynamic function. It's an effect that automatically diminishes the echo that's causing the mess. Listen to this. Furthermore, it's possible to add delay to the rhythm guitar. With the 2290 it's possible to make all thinkable combinations of chorus, flanger, delay, compressor, expander, gating, ducking, tremolo, panning, phasing, vibrato. Try listening yourself to the effects used by these soloists. 32-second sampling time combined with supreme technical data makes the 2290 one of the most attractive and exciting sampling devices ever created. And what's more, it's so easy to operate. Just set the unit to sampling mode, press the sampling record key, and you're ready to record.
What did you do last night?
When you finish recording, you can edit the sound, both front and rear, and then store in a preset. Now you can trigger the sampling manually, via MIDI or with an audio signal.
What did you do last night? What did you do last night?
With the 2290, you will realize a sound quality which is far superior to anything you know about today. What about you people who want to use this studio unit on the stage? Well, TC have thought about that too and provide the unit with a live remote control. To be exact, the 2290 has built into it 5 sends and 5 returns, to which one can connect other effects, this way allowing the 2290 to become the mother unit that controls your live stage sound. Now you can shift silently from a chorus delay sound to a distorted solo sound. With the 100 built-in programs, you can choose any sound you want. The TC2290 is switched on here. Adjust the input gain to 0 dB, thereby utilizing the machine's excellent dynamic range. If the plus 3 dB LED light flashes every now and then, don't worry. The machine is quite capable of taking it. By the side of this is the bypass control. This control has unique possibilities insofar as that it can be programmed to perform the bypass function in 3 different ways. We'll return to this function in a little while. When you operate the TC2290, you can use these up-down keys. When you press on one of them, the little green LED light above begins to blink. This means that it is in function, ready to be used, adjusted up or down. But you can also use the numeric keyboard to write the value in. The keyboard is a section here. Now we will write in the display where the green LED light is flashing. Remember to terminate the use of the keyboard by pressing the Enter key. We'll try again. And remember to press the Enter key. The value is accepted. If we look at the feedback section, we'll find the Select key. This shifts between 3 different modes. Here you determine the number of repeats with echo effects. Below the feedback level mode, you will find the high cut filter, which you can adjust if you want to trim a little top off of your delay repeats. We can cut at 33 kHz, 8 kHz, 4 kHz, and 2 kHz. The third mode on the Select key is the low cut filter, where one can trim at 0 Hz, 100 Hz, 200 Hz, and 400 Hz. In the middle here, we have an inverse key, where it's possible to invert the phase between one delay and another. The next section is titled Output Volumes, and by using the Select key, we have the possibility to roll between 4 possible controls: delay output, direct output, total output, and pan position control. When the red LED light of the delay section is on, it's possible to adjust the amount of delay you wish to hear, and that you combine with the direct signal. If the machine is used in a studio, defeat of the direct signal from all programs is often preferred. This can be achieved by using a special number. The next step is where both the direct and delay LEDs are lit. This indicates the total output volume. In other words, the sum of the direct and delay signals from the 2290. This function can also be defeated from the program. Underneath this section is the pan control, and it's here you adjust the start pan position. This means that when you use the auto panning, you tell the machine where you want it to start panning. 50 is the middle point, and as we increase to 99, the more our starting point is positioned to the right. Correspondingly, 0 would be the starting point to the left. Here is where we adjust the delay time. It's possible to delay a signal right down to 0.1 milliseconds, and that gives us incredibly good possibilities in optimizing effects such as flanging and phasing. Just press the up-down key. The delay time will decrease in steps of 0.1 milliseconds. If you start with a whole millisecond, it will do the same in millisecond steps. A little to the right of the panel is the Learn key. By tapping this in rhythm, you allow the 2290 to find the corresponding delay time. You do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is the modulation section. You can make 3 different kinds of modulation at the same time. It's here where you create all the multi-effects with the TC2290. For each of the modulations, you can choose between 4 waveforms, thereby determining the different effects. In this way, you're able to make in the delay modulation section chorus flanger, doubler, vibrato, and input-controlled chorus flanger. In the panning section, you can choose between 4 different auto-panning modes. And in the dynamic section, one can make gating, ducking, tremolo, compressor, and expander. By using the Select key, you can choose between 3 different modes: delay modulation, panning modulation, and dynamic modulation. We can choose which function we want to see in the display. And remember, though the display can't show everything at the same time, the functions are working. It becomes easy if you refer to the 2290 manual, section 9, part 2, which is a chart of the different modulation forms and where every effect is described in detail and designated a title. The chapter consists of 3 pages, on which each page is given a description of the effects within a given modulation. The result being that you can choose an effect from each page and program them into one preset of the 2290. For example, we take the sine section. We read that this gives us a chorus flanging effect. Underneath this, we read speed and depth adjustments. There is also a special number 9, determines the sweep direction. This means that you can decide on whether your chorus flange effect starts its pitching up or down. If we continue down the side of the page, we read that random gives double tracking, envelope gives us pitch shift, and trig gives us audio-triggered chorus flanger. We also see that there is a new special number 10, with which you can adjust the threshold for the audio-triggered effects. On the next page, you'll find a corresponding table of the effects that can be made in the panning section. Here you can make automatic sinus or random panning, envelope panning shifting between left and right triggered by an audio signal, and triggered auto panning. And here on the third page, a table of the effects that could be made in the dynamic section. Here you'll have to pay attention to the fact that there are 2 effects for every waveform. This is because there is an inverse key combined with the dynamic modulation. If you wish to make an effect in the delay modulation mode, you'll have to begin it by pressing here. Afterwards, assign the select key to delay modulation. Now you have the 4 waveforms to choose from. We'll set it to sinus, which is the waveform which is used when making chorus and flanger effects. The difference between chorus and flanging is that flanging has a very short delay time, generally between 3 and 12 milliseconds, and many repeats. In other words, a high feedback level. Chorus needs just 1 single repeat for it to work. If we carry on down to random, we'll still be able to create a type of chorus. With the TC2290, it's possible to make chorus together with a long delay. Vibrato, which you know from synthesizers, is the effect you make in the envelope. Here the input is controlled, and now you'll have an example of it. In the last section you have trig, and this means input triggered chorus flanger. You can always see when you're triggering because it will be indicated by a LED light here. When the depth control here is adjusted, you deepen the effect, or one can say the degree of effect. 72 is very powerful. If we decrease down to about 20 to 30, we'll be in the most used area. By the side of this we have the speed control. It's here you can adjust the speed of your modulation. After our chorus sound, we'll shift over to pan and make an auto pan which we add to the chorus sound. If we had made a long delay, the panning would be the third effect we would add on. Panning is switched on here. Under here is where we can choose whether we want to pan the delay signal, the direct signal, or both signals. When both signals are being panned, the delay signal starts on the left side of the sound picture. The direct signal starts on the right side, and then they cross each other. With the select key, we have chosen pan. And now we choose the waveform. Sinus gives an even left-right switching. Random makes a coincidental left-right switching. Envelope produces automatic left-right switching controlled by the input signal. Depth decides from 0 to 99 how far out to the sides the TC2290 should start the panning signal. The speed keys decide how fast the panning should move. We activate the dynamic effect here. The dynamic function is found only in the TC2290, and the idea behind this effect is that one can ask the TC2290 to determine the degree of effect. For example, you can lay a long delay on a solo instrument and ask the TC2290 to turn down the delay in the fast passages, exactly there where normally delay would really mess up the sound picture. If you key the select to sinus or random, you ask the waveform to turn the effect level up or down, and by doing so creating a tremolo effect. It's in the envelope mode where compression is made. Depth decides how much should be compressed. Speed decides to turn up volume time. We can now introduce 4 new effects by depressing the reverse key. By doing this, we reverse all the functions of the 4 positions of the waveform key. For example, in the dynamic mode, gating would be created and only releasing the effect when the machine receives an input signal. setting the waveform to sine or envelope would give us a reverse tremolo, which of course is the same as a normal tremolo. To carry it further, the envelope would give us an expander instead of a compressor. Depth and speed control works exactly as it does on the compressor, except now we're expanding. When you want to recall a preset, it's here in the preset display that you do it. It also indicates which preset is currently in function at the time. When you want to change a preset number, you do it in this way. You press in the preset key. After that, you enter the preset number that you want. Nothing happens to the sound until you terminate by pressing the Enter key. The last cipher in the preset display starts flashing. This gives you free access to the preset within the decade bank one is in just by entering a single cipher on the numeric keyboard. For example, if you key number 7, then one shifts directly to preset 87, or 5, thereby shifting directly to 85. If you want to go to 95, then you must key preset 95 and enter. Now you're in the next decade bank and can just key 2 if you want to go to 92. If you edit any other presets in the meantime, the machine will jump out of this mode. You will need to key preset 92 again and enter. It's almost the same procedure when a preset has to be stored. Let's imagine that we have made some changes and they need to be stored in a new preset. We set the delay time to 500 milliseconds and we'd like to store this sound in a new preset. You press the preset and then the preset number where you'd like to store the new sound. For example, preset 50, and terminate by pressing store. Our new sound is now entered in preset 50. When you want to use a TC2290 for sampling, you start by setting it in the sampling mode. You do this here. In the sampling mode, the TC2290 defeats the function of all keys which are not going to be used. Key B allows you to shift between start and stop points when sampling. If we look, we can see that it starts at 0.01 and stops at 10.20 seconds. Starting point starts at 0.01 because the TC2290 is the only sampler which is equipped for pre-recording. This is advantageous when using an audio signal as sampling record start. The TC2290 is constantly in the recording mode, and when it is triggered, it will have pre-recorded a little sequence, so making sure that the very first minute part of the sampling is always recorded. The TC2290 is set in the recording mode by pressing key A. We can decide in which way we will start the recording. If an audio signal is being used, we press the dynamic key. We could also use the learn key in the event of a manual start. like this. Now the unit is recording. We could also have used MIDI to start the recording.
TC Electronic from Denmark. No.
The sampled sound is now recorded and ready to be played back. Let's listen to it.
TC Electronic from Denmark. No.
Now we have every possibility to edit the sampled sound. It's very simple. One presses the key B again, which shifts between the start and stop points. We just write a new stop point of, for example, 5,000 milliseconds and start point 500 milliseconds. The edited sequence will now sound like this. It's possible that the stop point chosen is not quite the one you wanted. For this reason, it's possible to finally adjust the stop point by using the roll key, and monitoring at the same time. If this stop point is the right one, we can now edit it. Preset 50 and store. We can still do more editing. Let's try from 2,000 milliseconds to 3,000 milliseconds. This we can store in preset 51. Let's hear that. If you have a unit with a sampling time of 32 seconds, you can use the rest of the time available for new recordings. We have up to now edited only 5,000 milliseconds. This means that we have 27 seconds left. Remember that the TC2290 requires to appropriate 12 milliseconds for pre-recording. A portion of the sampling operation is placed in special codes, which can be called upon by pressing the special key here. We'll try and press number 28, and one can see the letters S, N, O indicated, which means special number. Now we press enter, and we see here a new indication, S val, and it's here we set the value of the special number concerned. In the manual there is a description of what one can adjust in every special number. If we look at number 28, we'll see that this is a metronome. In the column headed value, we read that the metronome can be adjusted from 0 to 255 beats per minute. There is also a column headed preset, and here it is stated if the special number concerned can be coded into each preset. If the special number is global, it means that the parameter is common to all presets. We'll try to listen to the metronome on sampling. We stop by pressing the Learn key. There are two versions of sampling, both of which contain the metronome and the pitch change. Pitch change has been assigned special number 35. Here in sampling option number 2, the value is 12, which means that the pitch remains unchanged. One can, in increments of 1/2 tone steps, go up or down between 0 and 24. Common to both options 1 and 2 is that the pitch can be adjusted steplessly from 500 to 2000, where 1000 is equal to normal pitch. Let's listen to the pitch on 10. The modulation key activates pitch change. We still have the metronome on. With sampling option number 1, we have access to record and playback thresholds, special number 30 and 31. We call up special number 30 and see the value 2. This is when we use an audio signal to trigger record start. We can enter another value which makes the input more sensitive. With special number 31, there is a corresponding threshold for when we play back the sampling. With special number 29, we have the deadband, where the value decides at what level the triggered signal has to drop below before re-triggering can take place. Sample option number 2 is supplied with a PC board which adds an extra DA playback head. This gives the possibility to set a crossfade time for re-triggering of the sampling. Crossfade has special number 34, and the value is regulated in milliseconds and can be adjusted from 20 milliseconds to 32 seconds. We have also incorporated a sequence counter and a next preset function. When we have completed our sampling preset, we can call on special number 33 and tell the 2290 that when it has played a preset, it will then go over to another preset and play it back. Special number 27 contains the sequence counter, which functions in 2 areas. The values in one ranging from 0 to 100, the values in the other from 100 to 200. In the area from 100 to 200, for example 110, the first cipher states that when sampling is played back, it starts from the beginning automatically. The 2 last ciphers states that it does this 10 times. In the area up to 100, one has to use an external trigger, such as audio trig, manual trig, MIDI or metronome. One can also make sound on sound with sample option number 2. One does this by setting the feedback level to more than 0. Sampling mode, press the sampling record key and you're ready to record.
What did you do last night?
Sampling mode, press the sampling record key and you're ready to record.
What did you do last night?
Sampling mode, press the sampling record key and you're ready to record.
What did you do last night?
Sampling mode, press the sampling record key and you're ready to record.
What did you do?
The TC2290 has 2 keys here, the assign keys. The assign keys can, via the special numbers, be programmed to execute any function whatsoever. The assign keys can also be programmed to carry out some functions which otherwise would be inaccessible for the 2290. In Chapter 9, Part 5 of the manual is found the assign key code list, where there is an example of how one can program assign keys. Farther down the page, we find the key number, which is a program number for each function or key. When programming an assign key, we read that the first step in programming is that assign key A has special number 40. We press special number 40 and enter, and here, in special value, we instruct key A what we want it to do. For example, we want key A to become the volume control that can reduce the total output volume. We now write key code 133, which means that key A enters into the output display and controls the total output volume by select key. The next thing we'd like to do is to reduce the output volume. In the list of key codes, one can find the number which is designated to output down. The next step in our program is 41, and the value is set at 47, which is the key code for output volume down. All assign key programming has to be terminated with an instruction that it is the last step of the program, and that is always 199. We take the third step, 42, and write 199. Correspondingly, we could program key B to become volume up. When one presses key A, the select key chooses total output volume and begins to decrease volume. On the TC remote controller 0144, which is designed for stage use, the two assign keys have been built in so that one can transfer these functions to the foot control. TC's 0050 remote control is specially designed with 4 extra assign keys so that one can program the board to do what you want it to do. When you want to program a combination of external effects with the 2290, you start by pressing the change key. If you press number 1 on the keyboard, you will see the number 1 LED light switch on, stating that effect number 1 is now coupled. If you press 1 again, you uncouple it. You can combine any of the programs with any function of the 5 external effects. We can run our distortion on 1, our compressor on 2, and our chorus on 5. And then program them in a preset. We press preset 40 and store. Another combination could be that we remove the chorus and compressor and run the phaser on this one, here, and then store this in preset 41. We can now change between 2 totally different sounds without difficulty. Here we see the 5 loops located on the rear panel of the TC2290. There is 1 jack send and 1 jack return. When an effect pedal is connected, a signal is sent from the jack send to the input of the pedal and from the output of the pedal to the jack return of the 2290. If you would rather not connect the effects in loops, you can use the jack send as a logical bypass control to other effects. When the TC serial remote controller 0144 is to be connected, it's done via the TC jack connection. An ordinary guitar cable will do. But if you use a stereo cable, the foot panel will be powered by the 2290. On the TC 0144 serial remote controller farthest to the left, there is both an up and a down key. For example, we're in preset 51. We press the down key 3 times, each time being a decade stop. 20 is now shown in the display. We still have the sound of preset 51 until one of the 10 keys to the right of the up and down keys is pressed. If we press number 2, both display and sound will shift to preset 22. If we can stay inside the same decade group, pressing 6 will call preset 26. On the up and down keys, one can see indicated in smaller letters on and off. A row of other functions are found here, amongst them a function called direct mode. By pressing the on key and direct mode simultaneously, the board's mode of operation is changed completely. In the direct mode, the board operates almost like before, the difference being that the up and down keys function in groups of 5 instead of groups of 10. We are still in preset 26. If the down key is pressed, the display will show 20. In the top row, we have direct access to the 5 programs from 20 to 25. If we press 0, we shift from 26 to 20. The lower row of keys gives us direct access to switch on or off the external effects. When we press, the LED light will state whether effect number 2 is either in the on mode or in the off mode. To return from the direct mode, we press the off and direct mode simultaneously. There are some other functions incorporated. Here, we can program assign keys A and B to become the learn keys. One is called learn key A, the other is called learn key B. We press the on and learn key B simultaneously, and now we have key B as the learn key. You can also remove the external effects from the program by pressing on Release External Effects. To return, one simply presses off Release External Effects. To MIDI interface the TC2290, we just have to press the MIDI Enable. This unit is one of the few that transmits, enabling it to become the master in an effect rack. MIDI channel is obtained by pressing Channel. The current MIDI channel now appears in the delay time display. This is easily changed by just pressing 10. And now we have changed to channel 10. In special number 5, we can choose Omni on or off. If we choose number 1, it means that the TC2290 will only listen to the chosen MIDI channel number. Choosing 0, it will listen or transmit on all channels. The TC2290 has many more functions than immediately catches the eye, because there isn't place enough for all the keys on the front panel. Quite a few functions are stored in the unit in the form of special numbers. One presses the special key here to the right, and the special number is indicated in the delay display. And the idea is that the TC2290 is assigned a code which tells it which function we wish to enter. In the manual, Chapter 9, Part 4, there is a complete summary of the special numbers. Here are, for example, some functions from the front panel, which can be taken out of the programming. It's suggested that you study the special list very closely because of the very many interesting possibilities to be discovered. Here's one, for example. Number 8, enter. A new sign in the display shows special value number 70. In the list, we read that special number 8 is titled Preset Protect. It's possible to protect all presets from the value we write up to 99. If the value is changed to 99, none of the presets will be protected. Or, if we write 80, then all presets from 80 to 99 are protected. Now we have 20 presets that cannot be erased. One can, of course, modify and store all presets in the numbers up to 80.